What is up, everybody? My name is Andrew and welcome back to Space Engineers Survival 2024. This is episode number 43 and we've got a couple things to do in this episode involving working on the AMG Sandstorm, working on the PAM ships, and fixing up a couple mistakes that we made last episode. First of all, our railgun thing, we made a mistake with the setup we did over there. It turns out that our railguns will not actually charge if they're turned off. So if I have them turning on and off every like 3 seconds, that's like, it's gonna take them double the time to charge because they're off half the time. So we need to reset this, and I have a pretty good way that we can do that. Next, the cool launch system that we have right here needs a bit of a change because unfortunately it's not gonna work in zero gravity. It's gonna go really, really far to go up here, and then there's no gravity to actually pull it back down here, as we were able to test it. But yeah, we're gonna change this up a little bit and get it working. So we're gonna do all that stuff in this episode, starting with the work on the railguns. So I got a really cool, simple setup, simple yet elegant setup from a viewer in the comments section of last video named D9 Phoenix, who told me that all I have to do is turn one of the railguns off for like, 6 seconds or something when it detects a target, and then turn it on, and then that's all you have to do because they'll start firing offset like that until no targets detected anymore. So I don't have to have this crazy setup where I turn them on and off all the time. All I have to do is turn one off for, a short amount of time as soon as the target's detected, and then they'll be offset firing. So yeah, we're gonna do that. That's gonna be a simpler option. And so since they're offset firing, they'll always be recharging. And then all I have to do is once no target's detected, turn them both on, make sure they recharge. Everything's gonna be fine. Okay, so honestly, I can use these same timers that exist. I don't need to remove or add any timers. So what I'm gonna do is in my setup actions right here, all I'm gonna do is grab my railgun. I'll use railgun 2, so we're gonna go ahead and turn railgun 2 off on this first timer. Then we're gonna call the second timer, which is gonna last for, I don't know, 6 seconds or something. We'll use 5, why not? 5 seconds. Then all the second timer is gonna do is call railgun 2, turn that on, and then they should be offset from that point. Because assuming the first railgun fires as soon as the target is locked, first railgun fires, 5 seconds passes, second railgun turns on and fires. Now they're offset and they continue to fire offset like that. So we'll essentially have our system set up with a very elegant and simple solution. Okay, and then all we're gonna do when no targets detected is we're gonna make sure both of our railguns are turned on so they can both fire, just in case, the target was destroyed before this one fired. So both railguns will be turned on, and yeah, we'll be good. All right, I think that solution's gonna work. So yeah, let's go ahead and implement it on the other side as well. And then we're gonna have to wait for a Reaver to attack us to actually test this. So we're gonna have to make sure we pay attention to what our railguns are doing when a Reaver attacks us. All right, let's get this one set up. And it shouldn't be too tricky. We just need to switch these guys out. So give me 1 second and I'll do this. All right, this one is now set up too. So we have both of them set up and ready for our next Reaver attack. Hopefully we get one in this episode so we can show that off and test it as well. Next thing we're gonna do before we move on to the AMG Sandstorm stuff is we're gonna do some PAM stuff because we need to get our PAM ships going again. If we remember, this guy right here, the Jerfosomaniac transport ship, was not actually doing anything. See, it's just chilling here and not doing anything. I wanna check the storage. I wanna make sure the storage is not full, but I think this is probably the same problem that we've been having for ages now. If I look at everything on the ship, hide empty, yeah, so nothing has stuff in it right now. The problem then is going to be with the event controller. So event controller outpost works fine. Let me see what event controller outpost does. It calls outpost takeoff. What about event controller base? Calls base takeoff. Is it on though? It is on. There are missing reference to blocks. Okay, let me see. Ah, so this might have been the problem the whole time, is that we have unknown blocks in here. What are the unknown blocks that it was looking for? I'm searching for the cargo, but you know what? I bet you, because we only have 2 cargo containers, one right there and one right there. I bet you those are the connector. That's probably the old connector and the old cargo containers, because they got destroyed at one point. So that is probably what happened. Let me grab the event controller. All right, let's just remove these guys and see if that works. We'll send it over and we'll see if it starts working. Hopefully it does. What are you? Oh my God. Parallax Obentide Mark II. I've been having the signals off and I kind of like it. Not having to worry about having so many signals on the screen because we have so many around here that it gets a little overwhelming. Okay, next up we'll take a look at the ice transport because I don't think he's moving either. Why are you not moving? Is it because you have broken blocks? That could very well be the case. Let me look at what your timers are, what your event controllers are trying to do. Event controllers are looking for those 2 cargo containers. What if I go into inventory? I want to hide, show only on the ship, hide empty. Yeah, okay, so you still have ice. Is it because the base is full of ice? Wait, is it just because that thing's not connected? I bet you that's what it is. Are you, wait, where am I? Are you not connected? Yeah, you're not connected. Okay, so you know what I'm gonna do then? I'm gonna say your strength is gonna go up a little bit and your strength is gonna go up a little bit so that you guys can connect a little bit easier. And then what I'm gonna do also is, let me grab my timer. Oh no, I guess we don't have a timer. Okay, in that case, I'm gonna switch lock. If it continues to happen even after the strength increases, then what I'll do is I'll put another timer on here so that it waits a second before trying the connection. Because I think that's what's happening, is it's connecting and then actually getting close enough. Okay, you go on your merry way. So we got that one working. We got hopefully the Trafaso Maniac working too. We'll wait here for a second to see if it's actually working. And it's actually really good timing that it's coming back as we're looking at it. Come on, Trafaso Maniac. All right, if it's working, it should immediately take off again once it deposits all of its materials here. So I think it probably will this time because now the event controller is fixed. So hopefully, let's give it a second, see if it takes off on its own. Yes, there we go. The Trafaso Maniac is back and ready to work. Okay, let's go check out the air and transport over here as well. I think this one might have been broken. Actually, let's check out this entire base because, yeah, it definitely took an extra hit right there. But no, all these ships look fine. They're just chilling right now. And the air and transport itself, though, oh no, the air and transport. Oh no, it got struck down. Oh, we're gonna have to fix that at some point. Do we fix it right now? Well, we can at least fix up this stuff. That. Let's go get the blocks for that and fix those up. The air and transport itself, though, needs a major fix, not just a tiny little repair. There we go, and there we go. So at least we can connect it. And hopefully it's not gonna try and take off on its own after that. I don't know if it will. But, do we have steel plates on us? Maybe we can fix up this stuff as well. The air and transport is kind of in like a dangerous area. All the other ships are nice and safe down in their little cave, but the air and transport is just up here. Okay, I think what the air and transport's gonna need is an actual haul over to the repairing piston, the repairing welders actually. Okay, this is gonna be a job for the barista. So let's head over there, and the barista has its nice little mag plate on the bottom right there, so we can use that for grabbing. Oh, we're going a little fast. We can use that for grabbing the air and transport and bringing it over to the projector. Not the projectors, the welders. So let's go ahead and get in a nice position here to connect. Actually, what we might do here, let's bring up a block, and we'll lock onto that because that might be a little easier. All right, ready to lock. So now all we have to do is undo this one right here. Switch lock right there, and let's head up. Okay, so we have the ship with us now. Let's bring it over to our main area, and we're gonna get it welded up, and hopefully it's actually stored the paths as well. I really hope so, otherwise we're gonna have to do those again, and those are kind of a pain. Okay, let's get it over here. All right, this is pretty good. We'll bring it down as well. So what I want to do is get a projector on this thing. Oh, hang on. It's having a little trouble staying upright. I don't know why, but it is having a little trouble staying up. You know what? Maybe I'll let it rest on the ground. Let's let it come to a rest on the ground here. There we go. That should be fine. All right, let's get a projector on here. All right, we've got the Trafaso Maniac Transport Mark III. So let's go ahead and double click that one to set that as the projection that we want. And we'll get that positioned properly. Forward offset, horizontal offset, like that. And I think that is how it went, right? This doesn't seem right. Wait, that's because I pulled the wrong ship. It's not the Trafaso Maniac, it's the Air and Transport. Oops. Yes, Air and Transport Mark II. That's where I went wrong. Okay. Air and Transport Mark II. We'll try and get that in position. Okay, that is for sure it. I think I've got it right now. All right, so now with all this said and done, what I can do is I can turn this on. So printer on, and I'm gonna fly up real quick to my cockpit here where I'm safe. And let's go ahead and get this thing printed. All right, I think everything on the Trafaso Maniac should be printed now. I don't know if I'm missing anything, but yeah, it should be good. Okay, so now I'll bring it back to the to where it was, and we'll hopefully see if it can do its mission now. All right, here we go. Let's let that connect here. Switch lock right there. Disconnect you, and let's fly away real quick. Still got a projection of this guy right here. Let's let that sit there for a second. I think the air and transport should fill up pretty quick. Oh no, it won't fill up pretty quickly because we have this right here that needs to be done. Can I fill in this block? I do have the barista right here, so maybe I can. Oh no, I don't think I have the motors for it. Well, almost. All right, let's go bring the barista back and then we'll... Oh man, a lot of the stuff is actually broken. There we go. That should be our connection right here. Let's press number 8 for that. Oops. There we go. Perfect. And we'll do what we have to do over there real quick. Let me grab some components for this. So first things first, let's get this one connected right there. And does that make a nice connection now? No, not quite. Oh, yep, now it does. Perfect. Okay, so we have this connection all the way to the bottom there, so which means this should take off any second because it's going to grab some materials and fly away. Now we need to do the connection for the ice dude. And actually what I might do now is I might move the ice thing a little bit lower, because I didn't like that it's like all the way up here. So I will take this opportunity to mine a little bit further down so that I can move the ice machine, or the ice storage down a little bit. All right, so here's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna put a cargo container right over here. So a big cargo container for our ice is gonna be right there. We're gonna bring it up like this. It's gonna be one of these nice ones. Something like that right there. Actually, you know what? No, we're gonna turn it the other way so that if you're on the stairwell, you can easily check like what's inside it. We're gonna turn it that way right there. Okay, try and build that up as much as we can. Grab these components that we accidentally dropped. Same thing. So this right here is gonna become a 3-way one, but upward. Oh, never mind. We actually have our ice storage down here. So our ice storage is fine. Yeah, it's got all the ice in it. Okay, never mind. We don't need to actually put a cargo container right there. Oh, we got a Reaver aggressor. Yes, we have a Reaver. Okay, so Reaver aggressor is coming from that angle, which means we should see our railguns fire. Do I want to not? Oh, it's actually quite large. Okay, you know what? No, we are going to fight it then in this. Real quick, check. Make sure we have ammo on this thing. Hide empty. Yep, we have ammo. All right, we're good to go. Okay, Reaver aggressor, let's start locking onto it. Yeah, look at that thing. Oh my gosh. Is it gonna attack literally what we just fixed? Oh, the railguns are firing. Okay, well, the railguns aren't very accurate, I have to say, but they are firing. All right, let's start engaging. Ah! No, don't drive into my thing. Okay, I'm glad it didn't, but it looked like it was going to for a second there. All right, I'm gonna keep moving in a weird direction so that hopefully we can't get hit by this thing, because it is firing at us, but our entire base is firing at it as well, so we're good for now. Railguns should be coming online soon-ish. Yeah, it's a large ship. It's quite large. It's like a boss battle, this thing. Oh, it's falling apart. Yeah, it's dead. It is dead. What's it gonna fall on? No. Yeah, nothing. Okay, we're good. All right. Well, that was a battle. Not that much of a battle, but it was a battle. And our railguns seem to work. I didn't get to see them fire a second time, which I kind of wanted to see as well. But it's fine. What did we lose in here? I don't think we lost anything. I mean, we have a little bit of damage. I guess we'll go over here. Excuse me. I'm just come to get myself fixed up here, if you don't mind. All right, there we go. Easy as that. I didn't even turn on my top turret. We'll connect, and there we go. Okay, let's go grab the materials from that thing. Oh, man, they keep sending these large grid ships at us. Eventually, they're gonna realize that it's not very good for their health. I mean, how many Reavers have we destroyed at this point? Probably a good fleet worth of them. All right, I'm pretty sure we've claimed everything of interest from these guys, so let's go ahead and fly ourselves to... We're gonna fly ourselves to this little base over here because we were working on it. And we have a lot of materials on the coffee grinder at this point. So let's go over here and we're gonna try and use those materials to finish up this thing. All right, everything is welded up over here, and I added a nice little bit of sealing over here so that it doesn't do any more damage to the stuff down there. And maybe what I'll do actually is do a second bit right here, since I've got a couple more steel plates on me. I don't know. Okay, it's fine. Anyway, we need to get the coffee grinder back home anyway, because it's getting a little bit low on hydrogen. Should still have enough to get home though. But we have a lot of materials on board this thing, because this was grinding on the AMG Sandstorm earlier, so it's got a lot of heavy armor stuff on it. But let's get it home here. Okay, with 5% hydrogen, we have the connection right here. Any second now. And there we go. Let's go ahead and hit that. And we're good. It's now refilling. Awesome. Okay, so now we have, well, did you ever... Let me check on this guy, because I don't think the air and transport ever... Oh, I like to see the... What do we call this one again? We just call this the ice transport? I forget. The Joshua Wilson transport, right. Yes. But the air and transport, I don't know if that's doing its thing. Problem is, I think a lot of the blocks are probably messed up from being destroyed. Timer disconnected, trigger now. Timer connected, trigger now. Perfect. Okay, I think everything is now set up for the air and transport. Let's see if that's the case. Do these actually work? No, I guess not. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch lock twice. So what that should do is nothing, actually. Let's go ahead and do a takeoff trigger now. Should wait a few seconds maybe, and then take off? No, it's done nothing. Okay, I probably need to set up those buttons again. All right, there we go. There's our buttons. Let's go ahead and trigger it, and it should now take off. Hopefully, it's able to do the entire path. I set things back up to the best of my ability, but a lot of it was missing. So, worst case, we can actually go into a creative world, paste one of these down from the blueprint, and see what everything is connected to. But yeah, I guess hopefully that works. In an ideal world, what I would have is some sort of emergency script where it tells that guy to go take cover, and then that thing runs to like a hangar over here or something. I don't know, something like that would be really nice, but I think that'd take a long time to set up. So maybe in the next series, because guys, this series is only gonna last until the end of 2024. That's how I decided to start doing things. We're gonna have our 2024 series, and then we're gonna start a new 2025 series once that starts. So what I'm trying to do right now is get the AMG Sandstorm up and running so that we can do a couple missions, maybe go to some of those outposts, some of those unidentified signals, check those out, maybe even go to Earth, check that out, do stuff like that before the end of the series, because we're getting kind of close to the end of 2024 and the start of what's going to become the new series. By the way, speaking of that, let me know what you guys want to see for a new series, since we are getting a little close. Do you want to see a completely new thing where we start from scratch? Do you want to see a continuation sort of this where we do something similar, like maybe we land on the Earth-like planet with just the AMG Sandstorm and we build from there, or maybe we keep the AMG Sandstorm in space and go on a pod to Earth or something like that? Let me know what you want to see, because we're getting a little close. I'll probably ask again in poll format on the YouTube community thing, but. Anyway, now that we have those up and running, what I want to do real quick is I want to check out the PAM stuff, see how our PAM ships are doing. I want to see how far we've gotten with the iron mining. I'm actually surprised Mr. Axis is still working, but checking out this whole here, it looks like we do still have some iron that's not being collected. We're getting the vast majority of it over here, but over here especially, we've got a little bit that's not being collected. It's fine, because last we checked, we had like 6,000, so 6 million iron inside the container. So we're doing pretty well. Let's go check out our magnesium, nickel, and silicon, see how that one is doing. Alrighty, starting with this area over here. Wow, actually, this is looking pretty good. We've got a death voxel right there. But other than that, wow, we got a lot of stuff over here. What about the stuff over here? Yep, that's certainly collected a lot of whatever this magnesium and silicon. In fact, we have so much here we could even set up another trip if we wanted to, but I don't think it's quite done with the trip it's on even. So I do want to check how our containers are doing. Yeah, almost 7 million iron in there, 6,000 magnesium, which is a lot, 500,000 nickel, 600,000 silicon, a crazy amount of silver as well. Yeah, that's a lot of stuff. And hopefully the air and transport is now, not the air and transport. The air and transport should be coming over soon. It's, I don't know where it is. It should be landing there though, at some point. Oh, the air and transport is actually right there, so it's still doing its mission. It's a little bit slow, but it'll get there eventually. And the Jerfosomaniac has crashed. Is it out of power? Is that what's happening? I think it must have run out of power. Well, one easy way to do this would be to just replace that battery, if we can. I'm gonna battery method it there so that it leans forward, and then I should be able to replace the battery any second now. Come on. There we go. Awesome. Okay, let's go ahead and replace that battery. That should give us a little bit of power. Oh Lord. Okay, 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 okay. Chill, chill, chill. It's starting on its mission. Okay, so what I probably need to do is figure out a way to get it to stay at the base until its thing is full. I can probably do that with an event controller. For now, I'm just gonna let it ride, I think, because we need to work on the AMG Sandstorm. Okay, so AMG Sandstorm, the big thing that we have to do here is the launch system. So what people were telling me is that this is not gonna work when there's no gravity because the thing can't go back. And so I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep this for now, right over there. But over here, we're gonna make a second version of the launch system that uses pistons. Then we're gonna test them and see which one works better. So ideally, if the piston one works really well, what it'll do is it'll have a piston right here, and then it'll pretty much just go bzzz really easily. And then right here, it'll release the ship and the ship will be able to go off on its merry way. Then the piston will come back and it'll be, you know, good to go. So the benefit of a piston system is of course that pistons are, you know, fairly reliable compared to the physics system over here. A piston would, you know, pretty much always go where it's supposed to go, whereas this one might not do that. And in fact, what we could do, let me think about this. Really, if we're using a piston system, there's nothing from stopping us from doing an elevator instead of a slide, but I think I want to keep it on like a slide because I think that's a cooler, it makes it look cool as opposed to an elevator, which is kind of lame. I mean, elevators are cool too, but not as cool as, although I say that, and if I did an elevator system, let me think about this real quick, because I might actually do an elevator system, because the benefit of an elevator system is I can have one right here, then I can have a second one right here doing an elevator up to the top. Let me see what's under here, hang on. I'm gonna remove the slide for a second. I'm gonna dig straight down, which is a no-no in Minecraft, but in this, it's fine. We have a corridor down there. So a corridor, we can work around a corridor. Oh, I should mention this as well. During the time-lapse segment last episode, I did increase my inventory capacity to 5 times instead of 3 times. And I think I'm gonna keep it just for the fact that I'm doing a lot of handwork here and it's very annoying having inventory full every few seconds. So I think I'm gonna keep it on 5 times. Maybe in the next series we'll have some sort of, we'll start on realistic or something insane, and then we'll have some milestones where if we reach a certain milestone, we can increase our inventory capacity or something like that. As like an upgrade sort of thing. That would be actually kind of cool. You know, like a global upgrade where you increase your inventory capacity. Since they don't have it in Space Engineers. Okay, you know what? I am actually kind of leaning toward this. As I'm doing it, I'm liking it more and more. The idea that we have an elevator right here, we build the ship down here, we even have some sort of hangar door that opens. Then once we're ready for the ship to launch, we open the door, the ship goes up, the ship flies away, we close the door, bring it down, make a new one. I think that's actually a better idea than this. This system has coolness factor, that's for sure. A lot of comments were saying that this system is cool, it just might not work as intended. And the more I think about it, the more I think as the ship has momentum, these wheels are not going to be as reliable as I think they will. I would have to implement some sort of locking system right here so this doesn't flop all around. Although I guess actually this technically locks it, so that would be fine. But I'd probably have to have another thruster on the other side to bring it back. I think what we might do is if we do a drone system on the base, we might do something like that because it does have the coolness factor. And if it were more of a static system, I think this would absolutely work out. So either, you know, maybe next series we'll do something like this, and we'll keep this in mind. All right, think about it like this. What about this right here? So we have our launch system right there, or our building system. We have right here just a little walkway where you can actually see what's going on. I think that would be look pretty neat. And then this is heavy armor, I think. All these right here, which is fine. We like heavy armor sometimes. So yeah, that's gonna look cool. Get a couple of light armor blocks right here, build this up right there, and then now you have an idea of what that's gonna look like. In fact, what I could, what I could even do right here is maybe have it kind of angle up a little bit with one of these. There we go. So you can actually see toward the top right there if you wanted to look up and see the hangar area. And then what I'd have is somewhere I'd have the hangar door openers. Why did I share an explode? Wait, was that just a Fossil-Maniac running out of power again? I knew I should have. Whoops, sorry, Fossil-Maniac. I probably should have fixed this issue when I noticed it instead of just not worrying about it. All right, you know what? Rather than worry too much about the power of that Fossil-Maniac, I'm gonna put a reactor on it. Because I can't be asked for this one. We're just gonna solve the problem with brute force. But I have so much uranium. 490. Did I always have 490? Or did I find, you know what? Maybe I found some on the, I think that's what happened. I probably found some on the Reavers that I destroyed. You know what? Let's just do 50 uranium so that it never runs out of power. Sometimes, this is why you have uranium and space engineers, right? Because some problems you want to engineer a solution to fix, but other problems you just want to, you know, you just want them to solve themselves. And that's what we're doing here with the Fossil-Maniac. I'm just gonna let it solve itself with the reactor. Watch this. Bam. Now it's got power for days. Problem solved. Okay, let's get the connector back on it. Then let's get a battery back on it right there. We go grab the power cells for that. Yep, it's got power for 4 days. So let's go ahead and hit the button right here. There we go. Okay, so it should go on its merry way now, hopefully. Although, actually, maybe it won't. Here, let me oh, what the heck? I didn't think I was going that fast against it, but apparently so. All right, Fossil-Maniac, you. What the heck was that? All right, I'm gonna let the Fossil-Maniac just go on its merry way to the PAM base. We'll catch up with it later and fix it up. We may have messed up a couple times with our actions there, but it's fine. We have AMG Sandstorm stuff to do. We'll let it just chill. I'm gonna grab all this silicon as well. Okay, anyway, back to the AMG Sandstorm. So this right here is our door, our hangar door. It covers 2-block area, but I think that's fine because this ship over here, which is our working prototype, I believe only covers 2 blocks. I don't have a very good measure, but I'm pretty sure it would fit within 2 blocks. So we could do our piston right here. It would go up. We'd probably have to remove one of these blocks or something like that. I'll keep that one maybe. How high will 2 pistons give us, I wonder? So I'm thinking we do something like this, where we have a rotor like this with a rotor lock, rotor lock on. Then we have pistons that are gonna send us up. So if I open these, so I'm curious, if I extend these fully, is that going to, let's reverse, and then reverse you as well. I wanna see if that gets us enough height to pretty much get it all the way out. Not quite, but if we do one more, it would. So this gets us pretty much exactly, why are you chilling there? Okay, I'm gonna have to go check on why that's chilling there. This gets us pretty much out. So that's good. This guy though, I'm pretty sure the transition failed maybe. Oh, you know what? I bet I know what happened actually. If I look at my takeoff A recorder, I bet you right here when I do setup actions, yeah, I gotta go A to B transition, trigger now. Transition A to B, trigger now. Okay, I think we've now got that set up. So you should be able to go and yeah. Man, there's a lot of work to do once when you're rebuilding ships. Okay, let's get this. We almost ran out of energy up there, so let's get that energy. All right, and now we can get back to what we were doing over here. So over here, yes, we have this pretty much extending to the max that we want. So let's go ahead and bring it all the way back down. Reverse that. reverse you. So we're going to be building the ship basically right here, which means we're going to want one of these. Okay, we're going to do it like that, where we have the connector up there, and we're going to do the merge block on the side here. A little baby merge block coming up right on the side. There we go. We'll make sure to give these guys all share inertia tensor, because we want them to share the inertia tensor of this guy right here. So all of you guys share inertia tensor on. Perfect. And we're gonna have to name everything as well, which honestly, I think the naming of everything is the most tedious part of stuff like this in Space Engineers, but we're gonna do it. Okay, I think I've got everything set up that I want on this little launch system. So we've got the connector. Wait, why did it not name my... Oh no, okay, it did name them. It's just when I look at them, it doesn't show the name. But I've got my button, I've got a control panel there, a connector, a merge block, and a projector right there. And all this stuff is accessible from here. So if you're over here, you can actually hit this stuff and cause it to work. But yeah, okay, so the projector, I think we want to use our Mark II version. And in fact, I don't think I ever blueprinted this stuff. Okay, I wasn't thinking a lot with my Mark II version of this, was I? It doesn't have any downward facing thrusters. Okay, you know what? I think we make a different Mark II version on this one. Let's do that real quick. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna make a different Mark II version of a ship right here. I'm gonna use this as inspiration, so it's gonna look similar to that at least, and then hopefully it'll actually have all the stuff you need to fly. Okay, give me 1 second. Let's get this built. All right, the new prototype right here with all the functional components in. It's got remote control stuff on the bottom. We need to put armor down there as well. It's got an event controller and a gyro right there, as well as some batteries. It's got the thrusters right here for a bunch of different directions. Other thrusters right there. Another set of thrusters on this side. AI blocks right there. And weapons out the front as well. So I think this one's gonna be pretty good. It's got everything we need. And yeah, we just need to add some armor right there. And then as far as welding it goes, we might try and weld it from the bottom. So put a piston down here and see if it can weld up everything in one go. If not, what we might do is have a piston over here that welds and then backs up or something like that. We'll have to figure out how we want to do that. But let's get some armor on this thing. And then yeah, we'll be good. Okay, there's our prototype Mark. Well, I guess it's now our prototype 1, but yeah, it's not painted, but it's looking pretty good. So ideally, does this fit within this? This does. Well, almost. Actually, no, it does not quite. I mean, I could move the guns back one. I could also transition to Gatling turrets instead, because a Gatling turret is much smaller and would actually fit there, I think. Well, barely actually, even. Okay, I'm moving the autocannons back just a little bit. Just one block, and it should be fine. So if I move them back one block, now they suddenly fit there. They barely fit, but they do fit. Sort of. I mean, it jiggles a little bit when I do that, but it's fine. It fits. Okay, so now if I have something like that, for instance, and I raise this whole thing up, yeah, the back kind of hits on that, but that's fine. I'm gonna move the back stuff back up one. Okay, so there's our first one right there. We're gonna put a second one kind of right across from it, so it's gonna look very similar in setup. And in fact, maybe what I want to do for this one is, maybe I want it to be facing the same direction, or do I want to be I'd rather it be facing the same direction, so it can be the same ship. All right, there's our second setup, able to go up like this. Where do I want to put the hangar doors, I wonder? I think probably the easy option is putting them right here, facing that way. That would probably look pretty decent. Man, I'm getting a lot of lag. I don't like it. Okay, let's remove these blocks. All right, there are our hangar doors right there. So we've got hangar doors on each side now. Looking good. Yeah, I think I am liking this sort of... Oh, by the way, I added a little catwalk right here as well, so you can walk between the ships. I mean, that is kind of cool, right? I think that's pretty neat. I think for a drone carrier, this might even have more coolness factor than the rail. The rail is cool. We need to redo the rail at some point and maybe make it on like a more static grid, but yeah, the rail is awesome. I think the rail would be extra cool. In fact, this would be the best of both worlds. If we had a system like this that produces ships right here, then we had them go onto some sort of crane that puts them on the rail, and then the rail launches them. So they get made over here and launched over here. That would be the best of both worlds, but unfortunately we don't have probably the ability to do that on a moving grid. On a static grid, I bet we can make it happen. Actually, now that we're down here, I bet you we can actually finish up the jump drive, because we were building these parts last episode. Yeah, there we go. The jump drive is back up and running, and I'll give it a nice a nice color because we just built it up. Yeah, nice. We have a jump drive. You know what I've completely forgotten about, though, is I need to find places for printers. So let's remove all this stuff for now and think about how we want to do the printing. Okay, so my current thought is, what if I have a welder, maybe a small grid welder even, on the side that basically goes along this entire thing, like a rail, sort of, but it would use pistons as well. We have one in the middle that faces both directions. We have one on the side that faces right here, and it basically welds up like, zzz, it goes along this on like a piston and welds up all this stuff right here. I would just have to remove these blocks right here, and I'd have to redo how this connection's done. Well, actually, I wouldn't even have to redo how that connection's done. I would just have to remove these corridors and then rework how that goes outside, basically. It's getting tricky. Well, it might work better from the other side, actually, because I've got a lot more room over here. I think that does not quite work how I think it does, or how I was hoping it would. Let's see how far that goes anyway. I don't think it's gonna go all the way. Oh, Lord. Okay, well, whoops. Okay, so it does go all the way. It would do what I wanted it to do. The only problem is this is too far out. Or I would need to bring it up a little bit, which I could potentially do. Actually, yeah, I could probably do that. Let me try this. Okay, so now this might be too high. I don't know. But it's something. Ah, but I've got another option. There is yet another option. Here's what I'll try. Let's remove all this, including that, and let's put a hinge on there instead. See how that works. So if I put a hinge, remove the large guy, or, you know what? Or keep the large guy. Why not? Let's get the large head and see if this works. Piston head already exists. No, it doesn't. Oh, because you think I'm looking at the piston. No, I'm looking at the hinge, my friend. Piston head already exists. No. Oh, okay. Let's put a piston, or let's put a hinge down. Yeah, I don't know what this glitch is, but there is some glitch here. I'm guessing that's a glitch with build vision, not with space engineers. Let's look. Hinge, incomplete. Add a medium head. Did it do it? No, it didn't. Okay, there's a problem here. Add a medium head. Piston head already exists. Not the piston. Not the piston. Add a hinge head. Add a medium head. Add a small head. Add something. Just add something. Ah! Okay, there's one way I could do it. If I put this in there, then attach it, maybe then it'll... Come on. Come on, you can do it. It does not want to attach to this guy. All right, when in doubt, restart the world. We're gonna save and we'll be right back. Let's see if this fixes it. All right, let's see. Have we fixed our glitch? Attach medium head. No, we have not. Let's try attaching a piston head, then attaching our hinge, then attaching our hinge head. Let's see if that does the trick. Nope. Ah, okay, there we go. I replaced the piston and now it works. Okay, so good. So now that I have this set up, what I can do is I can throw on my welder. This is the thought, at least. I can throw on the welder. And then now I can go ahead and tell this guy to aim, you know, this way at some bit. I don't know exactly what the angle's gonna be, but it's gonna be something that's not fully turned, but, you know. Okay, I could probably get it about that close right there. That would, maybe, well, I just need steel plates. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, it's able to weld up all that stuff. And then can it get a block under that even? It can, nice. So then now all I do with this is I say reverse and it goes forward. It welds everything on that side. It does not, oh no, it does weld this. Nice, okay, perfect. So it's able to weld pretty much everything that I need it to weld. I should be able to get through this without bumping. Yep. And in fact, it might even have a little bit more room I could give it if we start having problems. So basically I'll have one of those right there. I'll do one in the center as well. That's gonna have a piston pointing to the right here and one pointing to the left. I don't know how I'm gonna do that quite yet, but then I am gonna repaint everything, but I should remember to try and paint this orange like this because this is a danger zone right here where you can get destroyed by moving parts. So you gotta be a little careful. Okay, so I'm still trying to figure out how I want to do the piston in the middle because I could just replicate this in the middle, having a dude aimed this way and it would get the other side of this perfectly. So in theory, that would be the welding done. The only problem is, how do I get the left side and the right side at the same time? That's what I don't know. Okay, well, regardless, we know we're gonna want this thing about right here, so let's remove these. We're gonna have to rework this anyway. We'll remove these platform thingies. Remove that, and let's get it in there at least. Okay, so there is our piston. Now, here's what I'm thinking. We might not need to do the angled thing over here, because if you'll notice, this is a little bit offset. So we have it offset to the right, which means the angle, we might actually have enough room on the left here to do a full block. So if I go, let's go with a hinge. So we'll do a hinge. We probably won't do an angle, but we'll do a hinge, and then we'll run a medium head. So it's got, oh, we're gonna have this glitch again. Oh no. Okay, well, last time all we had to do was remove this and replace it, and it worked. All right, what about now? Can I add my medium head? Nope, piston head already exists. All right, third time is the charm. Let's try it again. Maybe we'll weld it up this time before we do anything, and then we'll try it. Attach a medium head. We'll try attach a small head. Attach a medium head. Nope. Oh, there we go. Okay, we were able to get it. I don't know why it worked that time and not the other times, but it's weird. It did it. Okay, so what I'm thinking is, it's possible that we can just do something like that and then do a welder off the side right there. And that, there's a chance that might not hit the side. I don't know how close it'll come, but we can try that. So let's weld both of these up and see what happens. Okay, there we go. That one's welded up. So let's go ahead and give this the maximum distance, and let's see if it runs into this. I don't know if it will, because we do have a tiny little block on this thing over here, but it's possible. Actually, it's looking increasingly likely that it won't run into it. Let's find out. Oh man, that's so close. Oh wait, it hasn't even passed it. I thought it did, just from the perspective. Okay, it's close, but it doesn't run into it, which means this should work fine, because that means we can actually throw another one of those, another welder, on this side of it right here, which will work for the other side. So that is perfect for us. Go ahead and throw those in there, and we'll send the piston back. Okay, so that's our welding problem solved, basically. We now should be able to complete one of these if we want to. Let's go ahead and reverse that. There we go. So basically, if I go ahead and take this entire blueprint right here, I should be able to build it on that right there. Let's remove these, by the way, because we don't need them anymore. Man, I am loving this thing already. This is so cool. Okay, you know what? I think our design over here can actually be done a little bit better. It's not bad. In fact, I like the things on the side. I don't like how blocky it is, but I really like these little things that let it go up, down, left, right sort of deal. And the fact that we have two of them is a really good design. I think maybe we just need to redo a little bit of the look. So here's what I'll do. Actually, let me remove the armor of everything. And the reason it's so blocky, in fact, is because we have the hydrogen tanks up there.
Energy low.
All right, new ship design. We've got thrusters almost everywhere, actually. We're missing one spot, and that would be pointing up. This is going to be a slightly taller ship than before, which I think is fine, because we'd rather have the ship be taller than be longer. So this one only has Gatling, but it could also support autocannons if I wanted to. And this one is actually perfect size for this, so it's a little bit thinner, a little bit shorter. So let's do oh yeah, we need to do hydrogen engines, so we're gonna put some hydrogens. I could toss some right there, but there's no real way to actually get the blocks to that. So I think I'm just gonna throw one right there and throw one right there, and then we'll work on getting some armor around this thing as well. Just a little bit of armor, we don't need too much. Okay, so actually the blocks that are welded right now, I have not welded anything by hand on this ship. They actually were welded all by these guys. So I'll turn this on and you'll see that. Oh, you know what I'm missing actually is batteries, but I'll get those in just a second. So we'll do a reverse right here, let it go a little bit, weld up everything it can, and then we'll do a reverse back, and same with this one over here, and that should get everything that we need. And I'm hoping it gets, yep, it does indeed get that block on the top there. We'll reverse it back, and then this one we can turn off, and this one we can turn off as well. All right, there we go. Gotten everything welded up just from that. All right, so for batteries, they're not gonna be too difficult. We're just gonna throw them in right here, I guess here and here. We'll go ahead and throw a gyro right there, and then we'll toss a camera on one of these spots as well. All right, I think we've got everything now. Is it able to get all the blocks? Almost. It's not able to get these blocks down here, unfortunately. So that's a bit of a problem. Let's see if I can, could it get the top ones as well? It could get the top ones, but just not these bottom ones right here. That's probably fine. Kind of sucks. I wish I could get all of them, but if we're not able to get these bottom ones, then I don't know, maybe we just go unarmored on the bottom. That's not the best, but it'll be fine. In fact, if we couldn't get these bottom ones, that probably means we wouldn't have been able to get those bottom ones either. All right, now all we have to do is configure this thing. So we need to get the event controller ready so that basically what we want to do is whenever we disconnect the connector, actually, do I want to set it up like that? I think I might use that timer block to be the launch timer. So when you hit that timer block, oh, you know what? I'm missing one other thing that this ship had over here, and that is a launch thruster. Yep, this one had a launch thruster. So I need a launch thruster on this guy as well. Okay, you know what? That's where we're gonna put our launch thruster. But anyway, the sole purpose of the launch thruster is to be a thrust override thruster, where the thrust override is set to max. You turn it on for like half a second and then you turn it off. In fact, I might throw, you know what? Let me just throw 2 timers in here. These are going to be our launch timers because, hey, it doesn't matter if they get destroyed. Once the launch is over, their job is done. So we'll throw 2 launch timers in there, and then the other timer up there will be for some other purpose should we decide that we want to use it. Okay, let's get those welded up. You turn on. Go forward, please. I really need to put this on a button so that I can trigger this quickly. Okay, got the event controller hooked up so that now when I turn this on, or when I connect it, the thrusters turn off. So it shouldn't do that again, hopefully. Let's see. Actually, I want to turn it off from here. There we go. Awesome. That's what I like to see. So now I can actually see everything on this ship instead of it being connected to that one. So I'm going to call this drone T3. So T3 being type 3, because we have 3 types of drones. We have type 3, this would be type 2, and then this would be type 1, I guess. So that's type 3 Mark 1 is what that is. All right, let's configure the timers. So we have 3 timers. These 2 right here are going to be our launch timers. So the first timer is going to make sure everything's on. It's also going to turn on the override thruster, which is going to launch the ship up in the air. Then it's going to call the second timer. So launch timer 2, it's going to start that. And launch timer 2 is going to turn off this override thruster and then make sure everything else is good to go, like the, you know, the AI blocks and stuff like that. I guess we'll make sure the Gatling guns are on too, because why not, just in case they aren't for some reason. Okay, so these guys, we want collision avoidance to be on. We want precision. We don't really care about precision mode. We're going to give it a speed limit of something like 80. We don't care if it goes fast. It's fine. It's a combat drone after all. In fact, this goes all the way up because we have unlimited speed, but I'm still going to tell it to go only 80. Minimum altitude, that's fine. Pitch angles are fine. Okay, we're good. The drone, actually the pitch angles, we don't care how it pitches. So we're going to say max angle, you can go wild. You can roll all around because we've got thrusters in every direction, so it's okay. Now this drone, we're going to say attack enemies. Target priority is going to be the closest, that's fine. Search interval, we're going to say is going to be 10 seconds, so it's always looking for targets. Threatening subsystem is going to be weapons. Attack pattern, what do we want? Circle and orbit, maybe? Yeah, we'll ask it to kind of circle and orbit, and we want it to stay probably 400 meters out. Will be kind of a safe distance where it can actually do damage. We would like it to use static weapons. It's going to be these 2 right here. Let's go ahead and add those. And I think that is good. Okay, so the AI flight move. Do we want anything else from that? No, we did everything for the AI flight move. We're fine with that. So now all we have to do is tell our launch timer to pretty much, you know, set everything up. Make sure our AI flight move is on. We're going to make sure our AI flight move has AI behavior on. We're going to make sure our combat is on. We're going to make sure its AI behavior is on. And then is there anything else I want to do? I think that might be all I want to do. To get it to launch on its own, what I think I might do is I might alter my event controller here so that once it's disconnected, so that's on connected. Once it's disconnected, what I might tell it to do is trigger the launch sequence when it disconnects from the timer. That means that manually controlling this is going to be a little tricky because we'll have to make sure that the event controller is turned off when we do that. Otherwise, if you connect it and disconnect it, it'll try and launch itself. But okay, so let's do launch timer 1 when it's disconnected is going to trigger now, and that's what we want to see. So now all we have to do is if we want to launch this thing is basically tell this to disconnect, and it's gonna disconnect this one right here, which will trigger the launch timer. The only thing that I have a problem with now is I need to figure out how do I get this to switch the lock automatically? Okay, I'll definitely have to come back to the drawing board for this one because I have to figure out how I need to, I need to basically switch this. Take care of the merge blocks isn't that hard because the merge blocks will disconnect as soon as this connects, but I need to make sure that this connects with that when it's built. So either I need to set a timer and then after like 10 seconds connect it, or set a timer to continuously try to make that connection. I'm not entirely sure which one I'll go with for now. So that one needs a drawing board. The second thing is I need to try and figure out a way to figure out when this thing is fully built. So I could use a timer to do like, I don't know, wait like 20 seconds. And then once 20 seconds have gone by, assume it's built if you've been trying to build it for that amount of time. I'm not entirely sure which one of those I'll do, but I'll figure that out. What I want to do right now is I want to get inside this guy and try to control it. So I want you to switch lock. Ah! Oh, I forgot when I switch lock. I was already talking about that too. That's so funny. I was already talking about the possibility that makes it really hard to manually control. But anyway, now that it's done that, what I can do is I can control my drone, and I need to grab my AI block, and I'm gonna toggle off the AI behavior. So what that means is I can now control it. Perfect. I'm missing thrusters. Oh, that's fine. Actually, it's not a big deal because I can just add some thrusters right here. One right there and one right here. Okay, now this should work without a problem, and these guys are all fine. They didn't take any damage, so we're good. Let me go ahead and bring this to the ground here. So we'll take control of it there. Bring it down to the ground, and we can actually blueprint this and test out our production cycle. All right, so there's the first version of our drone right there. It's called the Mark 1. We're gonna go ahead and blueprint it. Let me make sure that the name's stuck because this is the first time we've disconnected it from the thing. Yep, drone tier, type 3, Mark 1, perfect. So we'll probably end up making a Mark 2 and a Mark 3 at some point, but for now, this is the one we're gonna go with. Let's go ahead and put it into our blueprint list, and we're gonna go ahead and land it right over here as well, as just a trial drone. All right, there we go. Thrusters are off. Perfect. Okay, so now I want to test out the actual production thing. So let's go ahead and put it on here. Okay, yeah, that should be everything. So now what I should be able to do is just hit this button. Actually, you know what? Let me set it to a button here real quick so I can hit a button and it'll trigger the process. All right, I think I've got everything set up now. Well, I mean, what I wanted set up. I have a little bit of tweaking that I want to do. I put a lot of timers in. So these two timers control the cycle. They make the pistons go forward and backward pretty much. This is start timer 1 and start timer 2. I plan to have like a siren and like a light warning people that they need to get out of the way of this thing because it's about to start, and then it'll actually start and turn all that stuff off. And then we have the same thing for a stop sequence. So anyway, let's go ahead and test it out, see if it works fine. So this right here would be it would wait like 5 seconds or something while the light would go off, and then it would start going forward. So it's gonna go for about 10 seconds and then it should come back. I don't know if 10 seconds is enough to give it the full length. In fact, it's probably not even close to enough. So the way it is right now, it's only really testing this one drone, but we'll let it, you know, continue, see how it does. And since we're actually doing 2 drones at once, basically, I think probably it's going to take a long time to print these guys. We're probably going to have to give it a timer of probably a full minute to print both drones. Okay, so there we go. That's taken probably about a minute just doing the one drone, going on this shorter time scale. Now, what I could do to make this work a little bit better, especially for this one, is I could have this work on a smaller cycle, but then have a second set of printers that prints right here. You know, because I can always enhance this so that it goes a little farther. I could bring this out, you know, up to there and have 2 pistons that do this at the same time. So that would definitely speed things up. I just don't know that that would work for this particular case. You know what? I need this to be on. Oh, good sweet Jesus. Oh my God. Whoops. My bad. I may have broken the game a little bit. We're still tweaking things, okay? We're still trying to get things sorted out. It's fine. Okay, now I think it's foolproof. I've done a little bit of work on these timers and stuff, and I'll admit it's a lot of logic just in this little thing, and hopefully it doesn't get shot off in combat. That would kind of suck, but maybe I'll make a blueprint of this so I can very easily bring it to to different ones. But let's get this started. Let's see if this works, starting with this. So this is gonna print everything in a few seconds. I still don't have the lights set up or anything like that, but we're gonna print this thing again, and hopefully it's showing. I'm gonna have to turn this on. Yeah, because I made a new blueprint that actually had this turned off, or that had it turned on. So this is the new blueprint. I replaced it, but I didn't actually update this. So that's still gonna be, but there we go. Okay, so that's now done that connection. So what's gonna happen now is it should automatically switch over to that. Let me see if that actually works. Oh, you're locked. Why did it not do what I thought it was gonna do? Okay, this system probably needs a little bit of work, but if I go ahead and unlock this, then it should automatically, why is it doing that? Okay, I think I've got it now. Basically what was happening is I have this timer right here that's supposed to attempt to lock this, you know, whatever it can so that it locks, but I forgot that that's only going to do anything on the ship if the event controller exists. So what I have it do is now wait 45 seconds before trying to lock, and then hopefully by then the event controller will exist. I need a better solution, so if any of you have a better solution that might work a little bit better, because it's tricky, you don't know what's built at what time, so it's hard to know that when this locks, the event controller will exist at that time. The only solution would really be to have the event controller itself detect, maybe if I had an event controller on the ship so that when the event controller detects that a merge block is locked, it should switch the lock and then turn off the thrusters and everything like that. But what I don't know is if when an event controller is built, it'll immediately trigger its condition. So I don't know about that. But anyway, let's try this. Get this thing built again. Okay, anyway, it's time to test the launch sequence itself. So let me make sure this button is connected to the launch sequence, which I don't know that it is yet. Launch B timer. Okay, here we go. Let's test out the launch sequence. If this works, this should become a fully functioning AI ship in just a moment. So we'll press this button, it'll do the launch sequence, and we should be good to go. So what is supposed to happen? Actually, one thing I'm noticing here is a lot of our thrusters are still, yeah, you're ready to lock. Okay, let me save real quick before I do what I'm about to do. And then let me toggle you on. Yeah, that's gonna go for 45 seconds because it now notices that that is toggled on. But let's go ahead and switch this lock manually and see if it, okay, it does cause problems. So only when it gets disconnected should it trigger this though. So what's happening when I connect this? Connector is disconnected, output action slot 1. What is that? Why? Why are you outputting action slot 1 if it's disconnected? Output slot 1 is the connected slot. Wait, so why is it that when I look at this one right here, when I look at my fighter, the event controller says fighter connector is disconnected, output action slot 2, and then when I land, fighter connector is connected, output action slot 1. Okay, so connected is 1, disconnected is 2. But then when I go to my other event controller, it says the connector is disconnected, output action slot 1. So why is disconnected output slot 1 here and connected is output slot 2? Because what I notice is when I lock these connectors, it starts this thing, this industrial hydrogen thruster, which it shouldn't do, because if I look at my, let's look at our event controller, what it does. All the event controller is gonna do is if it's connected, it toggles off the merge block, and if it's disconnected, which should be slot 2, it launches the launch timer. But we shouldn't even have to be worrying about the launch timer right now because it's gonna be connected. So it should do these, but you'll see that if I connect them, it's going to do the opposite. Look, I'll do a quick save here before I do anything, and then I'll just connect them. So we'll switch lock right here. Boom, you see it's launched that, so it's using the other thing. All right, this is where I should probably ask for some help. So if you're a drone builder and you know what might be causing pretty much all this shenanigans, please let me know in the comments section, and hopefully I can get this thing working. I think what I'm gonna end up doing is doing a lot of off-camera work trying to tweak this and getting it set up. We've basically got everything set up. Like the launch sequence should work. The only thing is I can't get this to, here, maybe, here's what I'll do is just to show you the launch sequence before we end here. Let's go to thrusters. We'll just go ahead and turn off all of our thrusters so that it doesn't break things. And then I should be able to connect these without it freaking out. All right, anyway, guys, that's gonna be the end of this video. I'm tired of this. I need a day, at least a 24-hour break from dealing with space engineer shenanigans. Jesus, man. But if you enjoyed this episode, I mean, we got a pretty cool system going here. If it actually works, a very flawless and cool system that I wish I could show off. And next episode, I will show it off. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. But if you like this episode, please go ahead and hit the like button. If you dislike this episode because it was too many shenanigans to handle, feel free to hit the dislike button as well. And comment below if you know what's causing all this. With that, I do hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next episode of Space Engineers Surviving from Clang. See you guys.